Hey, I'm Dave, Watkins Films, and today I got another Ealing Studio classic film to talk about. This was another one from Studio Canal, Kind Hearts and Coronets. Now, just to go over it a little bit, recently I did one on The Lady Killers, another Studio Canal release. But this movie also had Alec Guinness in it, and so does the one we're going to talk about today, Kind Hearts and Coronets, though he isn't the main character in this one. Now, when I was talking about The Lady Killers, I did mention I had a VHS copy of it, and I was able to find it. Now, this is an interesting VHS cover. This scene in the film takes place at night. It was clearly shot day for night because they got a daytime shot of it from production still on the front. But yeah, it was pretty cool to find the VHS tape. Would have been nice to have it when I was talking about The Lady Killers initially. Now, before that, I did another review on the Lavender Hill Mob. And I think on the last video when I was doing The Lady Killers, I did speak about the Lavender Hill Mob, which is it's a damn fine movie. I did mention that my Ealing Studios reviews have not gotten a lot of views, and they probably still aren't going to get a lot of views, but they are. I do enjoy the movies. And this is the third. Now, from what I've read, most people consider these three the best three of the Ealing Studio classic comedy movies. And they're probably right. I may watch some more in the near future. We'll see. So, Kind Hearts and Coronets from 1949. It is a British dark comedy. And it is a black and white film, unlike The Lady Killers, which was in color. But the Lavender Hill Mob was also in black and white. Now, this does have a new 4K restoration from Studio Canal on this disc. This isn't a badass. There may be one available, but I was able to get this badass box set for Lavender Hill Mob. This is just kind of a standard edition, but it is pretty cool. And we'll take a look at it here in just a few minutes. So let's talk about the plot a little bit. Unlike the other movies, Lady Killers and Lavender Hill Mob, Alec Guinness isn't the main character, but he does play 8 characters in the film. So the film stars Dennis Price. He plays the main character. Now, Alec Guinness, even though he plays 8 characters, he's not on screen like a tremendous amount. The character that Dennis Price plays, named Louis, he is in line, or he's supposed to be in line to be part of this royal Duke family. And this takes place in the early 1900s during Edwardian England. He's supposed to be in line to be a duke. I think there's like 12 people ahead of him. But the problem is his mother married an Italian singer who he's played by Dennis Price too, because it has kind of a flashback. It starts off, this is an interesting thing about the movie. It's one of those films that starts off in the I guess kind of present, where Dennis Price's character is he's about to be executed, and then it has a flashback and talks about his life. And so his mother is disowned by one of the other people who are in line to be Duke, played by Alec Guinness. So, but she's disowned by the family, and so it kind of causes lots of drama for him. And now he takes it. His mother eventually dies, and then he takes it very personal that he blames her death on this side of the family not allowing them to be part of it. But so what he decides to do ultimately is he decides to start trying to figure out ways to get rid of all the other people in line to be Duke, so that way he will be Duke pretty much. That's what his goal is. Before he ever encounters any of them, several of them have died. So there's only 8 left by the time he gets to the point where he's able to interact with some of them. Now, the first one's a real prick, and he kills him. So when he does kill that one, it doesn't feel as much of like he's a serial killer or he's a crazy guy. But he eventually, some of the other ones are fairly nice. So it is, including like a younger one who I think he's supposed to be in his 20s. Clearly, Alec Guinness is a lot older than that, but he ends up killing that one, and then after that, he starts trying to woo his wife, the guy who he killed his wife. Now, there is also another part of this where when he was in school, he did befriend and want to marry another lady. Her name's Sabella, and she marries one of his friends, but he's still kind of having on the side. He's got her going on the side, and she's also a very manipulative character. So this is a very dark comedy. It's very complicated as far as the structure, and the character is he's kind of like a serial killer type of character who's trying to kill all these people who are ahead of him in line. It's almost like the House of Cards show, and then the remake they had for Netflix. You know, they had the original one where he basically kills his way to get to be vice president and president and so forth. But here he's trying to do a similar thing, and it's some of it's darkly humorous and some of it's hilarious, and even like some of the conclusions at the end and kind of leave it open. But it's funny the way he never really gets. Now I'm going to give a little spoiler. He never really gets caught for killing the people that he does kill. Now some of them end up dying other ways. He doesn't have to kill them, and he's like kind of thankful that some of them he actually likes. He doesn't have to kill them, but once it's all said and done, though, he ends up getting framed for something that he didn't even do. So it's very, very ironic that sort of thing happened. Now this movie and these other ones, I recommend all of them. This is something I could watch again, and I think they're all fantastic films. I'm thinking about looking at some other ones. So let's go ahead and rate Kind Hearts and Coronets. Now this movie is fantastic. I'm going to give it probably a 4.5 star rating. It's one of the better British comedies from this time period. Let's go ahead and take a look too at the packaging here. It's very simple. You got a slip cover and the inside. Now something I didn't point out before, Alec Guinness plays all 8 of these characters. One of them is a woman, so that's it's a pretty interesting thing, and it's somewhat convincing. I mean, you know it's Alec Guinness, so it works, and it's pretty funny, really. She's on screen not very long. Maybe she's on screen for less than some of the other ones, but it's more convincing to me, that character, than the character he plays that's supposed to be a lot younger than him. But it all works within the film, and it's funny that he plays all the characters. Let's take a quick peek at the inside of this. So we got 2 discs. We have a 4K disc and a Blu-ray. I didn't test this one out. I'm not sure if it will play in my player or not. It might be region B only. I need to take a look at that. But the 4K did look damn nice. As far as the transfer, it is a black and white film. You do have a 4:3 ratio, so you got bars on the side when you're watching it. So you have to be okay with that. If you want to see this movie, you're going to have to be, unless you want to zoom it in, which is another option. The transfer also, for a film this age, it also looks very, very nice. The master is in good shape. I'm not sure if they had to do any restoration, but you don't see anything that looks wonky in it. And in fact, the detail looks very nice. The film grain is present, but it's not overwhelming. Anyway, let me know what you think about this film or some of the other Ealing Studio films, and like this one here, The Lady Killers. And if you haven't done so already, if you go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm Dave Watkins. Thanks for watching.